Hey everyone, this is Villains Man bringing you our D&D 5th edition game, The Ancient Reborn. You're not used to seeing me, I usually sit off camera, but I'm your DM JVD.
I am Smiley playing Orrid Whitehammer. And Merry fucking Christmas.
Now, you're probably wondering, wow, why is there two people sitting here at this table?
We're weird.
Yeah, we're
Deal
weird.
with it.
Well, we like to be alone sometimes, and
Yeah.
if you're alone with people, then,
Magic happens.
Yeah, and he even combed his hair for me
Oh,
today.
I did.
I'm telling you. But anyways, that'll come into play here. In your own words, Orrid, give me a recap.
We met a town full of assholes, whom I kind of wanted to say was with the cult, but I didn't because we didn't know. We obliged about what they wanted us to do. We left the town after a run-in at the bar. And as we went to turn around towards some nice, pretty towers we saw, because we were assuming that's where the cloud giant was, we came there to hunt. We saw a thing, Orrid saw a thing, bad things. Oh yeah, I forgot about the gelatinous cube.
Did you like that?
I did, I love that. I kind of wanted
I've
to
been
be
waiting on that forever.
I was wanting to be a bag of devouring, though I thought it would be funny.
Well, see, that's what I knew everybody was expecting. Everybody, you always see that. No, not that
Just,
one. Surprise.
key pops out.
Yep.
But cult members riding wyverns, Orrid, being the rash person he is,
What?
opened fire immediately. We were not aware they were leading ogres.
Lots of ogres.
Lots of ogres. To be fair, how the encounter ended is screw it, they just dogpile you. So,
And so you were knocked unconscious with everybody else and captured.
I was captured awake.
No, I say they knock you out.
Oh.
But you hear them say take them to book office, and then they knock you out. I listened to that yesterday repeatedly, just to make sure I did that right.
Alright.
So anyway, so it's the 24th of Night All. You guys had just been ambushed. You start to come to off and on. You're in and out of consciousness. You're feeling really groggy, and even though it's winter and you move more down south and Faroon, where it's gotten just a little bit warmer, it's cold. It's colder almost like in your north. And as you're coming open, it seems like you're in a castle and everything's made of ice. You can see the ogres around you, dragging you around. You see the others dragging around. They force you into a cell by yourself, about a 15 by 15 foot cell. It's cold. Strip you of your armor, your weapons, your thunder cannon. Again.
At least this time wasn't just outright stolen.
I mean, you're just down to your clothes.
Yeah.
And instead of chaining you up, they hold you in place. An ogre stands behind you and he puts his arms like this. Ice shoots up from inside and manacles your arms. The same does to your feet. It's almost up to your knees enough where you've got ice around your hands and you've got enough just to sit down and sit against the wall.
Yeah, it's like up to my knees.
Yes. And what seems like forever, you're in and out of consciousness. Now, before we started playing, I'd asked you about what do you think an intimidation DC would be for Orrid, right?
Depends what it is.
Okay, you're about to be interrogated.
Okay.
So, you've kind of lost track of time during all this. You're kind of groggy, you're in and out. And you hear what you would think is a door, and you're kind of looking around, but there's no door. But in front of you stands a very familiar face. It's one you have not seen in 9 months. This person put in an order for some weapons for you a long time ago, probably about a year ago. She's female, short cut black hair.
I know.
It's someone you've been looking for a while. And she sticks a halberd, and as she does, you can see your forge mark on it, and she lifts your chin to look at her. And she has a smile on her face.
Yeah, I spit on him.
She laughs. Behind her, in a raspy voice, you hear, "What a filthy creature." And this black half-dragon in robes of gold and purple stands behind her.
I'm pretty sure that's what your father said about your mother too.
Frugal Mondath, as you know as,
The Gillet float.
she's like, word on the caravan was you were looking for me.
Oh, every step of the way.
And just think that we were just a couple days ahead of you. We were so close. She's like, if it wasn't for everybody slowing you down, you probably would have caught me.
I kind of look around. To be honest, I kind of favored my chances with a little bit of backup.
And there's no one else in this prison.
No, I know. I'm just telling her that.
She says, do you now?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a liar, I'm like you.
So, she's like, well, you know, you're a man of business. I've dealt with business with you before. Grab your paperwork, everybody. Or work with you and forgot to get the dice out. She tells you, well, you're a businessman. We've done business before. I've paid you. You've made me some really good quality weapons here. And she kind of runs her hands down the
You
shaft.
can't do business through lies.
She's like, wasn't really a lie. She's like, it got its job done.
What part was that of that wasn't a lie?
She's like, okay, maybe I'm a liar, and she laughs. You kind of look back and this black half-dragon just kind of shaking its head like, you know, maybe some of this is just unnecessary.
And that's Orasmir, I assume.
The half-dragon, what you would assume is a smile, nods her head. And she was like, so you've heard of me?
Aye. The fellow, the ones on the caravan.
It's like, we can do this two ways. The easy way, or the hard way.
You already know the answer.
And, Mondash, she just gotta, you know, I thought maybe we could come to terms. She was like, there's no need for the violence that may come this way. She's like, I mean, like I said, you're a businessman. I'm a businesswoman. We can come to deals.
Alright, what's your proposition?
She's like, well, you give us some information and I'll return all these weapons you had made. Gets rid of your forge mark. No one will ever think that you're tied to this. Because trust me, people are starting to pay attention. It was like people carrying this forge mark and these weapons have been raiding towns.
I never lied about my hand in this.
She's like, we could easily do away with that. All you gotta do is just answer a couple of questions.
I don't care about my name. You do better than that.
It's like a dwarf that don't care about its name. It's like, you kind of find that odd. Isn't that what you pride yourselves on? Family name?
Lady, I've studied magic. That's very undwarf-like. I've dined with giants. That's very undwarf-like.
She tells you, well, fair enough. She was like, if I could offer you something else, she'd be more willing to cooperate.
Like what?
She said, how about the return of both them pretty weapons? You know, the ones that you were known for on the caravan?
They would have gotten leaked out eventually.
She's like, you would be surprised.
You've seen me keep a secret. I suck at it.
I know, I guess she hasn't seen me yet. She didn't suck at it. Well, yeah, I guess you did give it to Varys too on top of that. Also, you gave him some plans. She's like, she's like, we will gladly give them back to you. All you need to do is answer a couple of questions my good friend here has, and we'll let you be on your merry way. As long as you promise to stay out of what is going on.
No deal.
No deal.
You haven't quite said anything enticing, to be honest.
Said, all right. She goes over, her and Resimir, they start whispering back and forth to each other. It's, You can roll a perception hearing, see if you want to hear what they're saying.
15.
15, that's actually good enough, based on the setting ADC that we were just talking about. Resmir is giving her orders. She tells her to go to the lodge and prepare everybody there to come to the castle. And before she leaves, she looks and offers you a smile and a nod, and she leaves.
Going at the pit.
She's like, kind of makes me sad I won't be seeing you around anymore.
You'll be seeing me. But your face won't be so pretty for it.
She just offers you a little curtsy, and where there's no door, the ice opens up, and she leaves.
Just a slam shut.
Well, yeah, it slides, but it's shut.
Just
This half-black dragon, Resmir, she doesn't say a lot. She kind of just paces around you. She's got this wicked great sword in her hand.
does it look familiar.
No, it does not look familiar. No, it is not Roland's mother.
I'm just saying, if that came to fruition, I would have called it out the ass. I'm just saying.
No, it's black. I mean, it's almost jet black. Everything about it is. In a way, you kind of felt like maybe this may remind you of something that was taken from the town of
Nightstone?
Nightstone, yeah.
Obsidian blade. Fancy smancy.
I mean, this sword's a good 7 foot. It's way bigger than you are.
Yeah.
And this dragon, it's probably about a high.
But the one that we saw at Nights, or the one that was in
a
Nightstone.
lot bigger than this. She paces around you for a while. She doesn't say a whole lot, and she just sits there. She drags the sword in here, as you know, she's a dragon.
You're gonna ruin the edge.
She
That's more touch than anything you can do to me.
and that's you say this, and she just keeps doing it, pacing around, not worried about the edge of this weapon. And she says, though I feel that I know you, I don't know you. She's like, my associates have had dealings with you.
Hey.
And admittedly, you defeated most of them.
But not all. I've got the scars to prove it.
She tells you,
At least they're not incompetent.
she tells you, I'm not as teasing as my associate is. She tells you, so, who do you work for?
Myself. There's no lie in that.
She's like, that's not what I mean. Who sent you here? Why are you doing all of this?
Who sent me here?
Here, who sent you after the cult of Tiamat?
You did.
I didn't.
Oh, but you did.
Explain.
The second you used my town, my weapons to raise my town, you set me against you.
For what sounds like a laugh, she said, I did no such thing.
You're right, you did not. She did.
That is correct.
The thing, she wants to green now. She never, you never would have seen me.
She's like, exactly. She's like, so why not make this easier between the two of us? She was like, I don't care to have blood on my clothes, and surely you don't want to bleed.
I've been in worse situations. At least I'm not stuck up to a stick this time.
So she says, I'll ask you nicely one more time. Who sent you here? Who are you working for? Who are your allies?
I've already told you who sent me here and who I'm working for. You've already captured my allies, at least the only ones I have that count as such.
She,
Out of the game, I think she might be the wrong motherfucker to ask these questions because he's being completely honest.
hey, I know, but this is just how it goes.
I know, right? She doesn't realize this. Oh,
6 points of damage. She takes her claws.
yeah.
She rakes them across your chest. And she screams at you, who sent you? Now, let's go back to this DC setting. Would you still say this is a moderate?
Not right now.
What would you think it would be?
Right, he's told her what he knows.
So
At least about those questions.
okay, I'm gonna put you at hard,
Yeah.
and that's not even close. That is an 11. She rapes you, and she's trying to be forceful. You can tell that she's trying to intimidate you through pain,
Yeah.
and obviously you're not having any of it.
He's had a lot of pain in his
It's
life.
very, very true.
He's fought his way through tunnels. He's literally been strung up to a spike by them. He's been knocked unconscious several times.
Yeah, that's very, very true. She's gonna ask you one more time. Ooh, that's close. That's a 19. Take another 8 points of damage. That's your max.
So tell me, was your mother or the father the dragon? That's what I need to know.
She kind of smirks and she tells you, your insults will not ruffle me at
That
all.
wasn't an insult. That's a sincere question. I'm very curious.
Once again, she asks you and she yells, who sent you? Who are your allies?
Taco Bell.
Because now she's gained disadvantage though. I had a 22 and that's a 16. She breaks you across one more time for another 8 points of damage. Again, her max.
I don't need to front us or dead at this rate.
This one comes right across your face. And I mean,
The good side or the bad side?
would it, to her, I guess it wouldn't matter.
Well, I mean, did I see it coming?
Okay. Well, you're looking right at her. Let's see. It's on your scar side. That's fine. So she just adds to it.
Yeah.
And she's screaming at you. You're not having any of it
Yeah.
at all. The pain hurts, obviously, because you can't fight back.
Yeah.
But you realize that she realizes that she cannot break you at all.
This is going a lot better than I thought it would. I won't lie.
Well, that first roll is what hurt me big time, because I rolled really low. So, but there is a way around this. She gets angry and she takes her greatsword and she shoves it to the eyes. And she snarls and she turns away and she walks out. The ice opens up and she leaves and it closes.
Oh, it's a shame I didn't get to speak to Blagofkis and all this.
Moments pass. Minutes seem like hours as you're just sitting there bleeding out.
Would you say it's a short rest?
No, it's not a short rest. You can handle this. You're pretty tough. You got 79 hit points.
9:57.
But these minutes seem like hours as they pass. As you sit there, you're bleeding from these claw wounds. Your face is pretty tore up here at the moment.
I tried to cast Cure Wounds. Went no, I can't. My hands are tied.
The doors open up again, the ice parts, and she walks in. She snatches up her sword, and she says, "Do it. Cast the spell on him." You got history or arcane to roll?
I have both. Which one would you rather?
It doesn't matter. You can pick one.
They're both +7, so it doesn't matter. It's 24.
I don't know if Orrid would be scared. I guess we'll find out what this is. Guy comes in with cladded in red armor, like leather armor,
Yeah.
and a cloak. And you know this to be a red wizard of Fae.
Yeah.
And he carries a staff with a red gem set atop it.
Yeah.
And he strolls in very calm, very
Is
relaxed.
this guy look familiar from the caravan?
No, he does not.
Because
But he's got the tattoos, his head is shaved, but no, he does not look like
I
the
think they're
guy.
very stylish tattoos.
So, now I don't know through history if you would be scared of a red wizard of Thay, but red
I would
wizards of
say I'm
Thay-
very nervous, but I've never had a
Very
personal
powerful.
experience of what they do.
He says, "Him, this dwarf." He says, "Resmir, I'm a little disappointed that you cannot break such a pathetic creature."
He's never asked me a bloody question either.
He says, "Surely this will change." roll me a wisdom save.
I'm not too great at those. 18.
Son of a bitch.
Can die.
He kind of gestures with his hand and points at you with his fingers spread out wide, and you can feel his voice inside of your head. But you fight off the urge not to succumb to his domination. And he looks at his mirror and he said, you do not jest about this one's toughness.
Orrid, wasn't there one of you on the caravan?
He smiles and he says, I see that, let's just find his name here.
Well, we never heard his name.
Yeah, I know, he does. Tells you, Asbara was not, as stealthy as he might thought he was. He said, but he did manage Asbara.
Asbara. Close enough.
Yep, I think you actually spelled that right. So he tells you,
Oh, you were sitting on a wagon of corpses that we kind of found out about.
he says, unfortunately, he said,
If you really want to be stealthy, you sit with some people you don't know.
but he does, he's like, true, but the reason for his being there was, I would say, easily accomplished.
And that was none of my concern to begin with.
You say that, and from behind his cloak, he pulls out your wife. He says, you sure?
Oh, yeah.
He says, it's quite the weapon you have here.
Aye. Matilda's a bit of one of a kind, honestly.
He said, indeed, through all my years, and I assure you they have been long, I've never seen such a weapon. Tell me, kind dwarf, in the tunnels where your kind live, were these known?
To my family.
You can tell that he is actually very intrigued by this weapon.
I made it. It's my own invention.
And he says, funny how Mondath could not get you to speak or any type of emotion out of you at all, but yet when you see it.
Because for I only have hate. It's getting there with you right now.
He says, now how is that my fault? This was actually promised to me. And he looks at Resmir and she gives him a nod and a bow.
So have you figured out the ammunition yet?
He says, what was left gave us an idea of how the weapon worked. He said, but we do think we have a solution for that.
Aye.
He said, me and my associates here are very impressed with such technology. He said, I can offer you freedom if you wish to join me. You take no part of the cult of the dragon. Do not take any words from Resmir. You come with me. Show me how these work. And he said, I will show you riches beyond your dreams.
I have no need for money.
He said, but do you have need for knowledge? Surely a man who would craft such a magnificent thing as this surely craves knowledge. He said, because when I laid eyes on this, when I was told of such a weapon, I could not stop thinking about it. I dreamed about it. And then when this one was taken, he said, I was mesmerized, hypnotized by the power of this thing.
Orrid starts laughing. You know, if you came to me under different circumstances, we may be able to talk, but not with them.
He said, the circumstances I cannot help. He said, at all. I had no part to play in your town. I wish I could say I was sympathetic towards such a thing.
But you're not. And
He
I
said,
understand.
it's no fault of my own. He said, but I can promise you your freedom and even this fine craftsmanship back.
No, you've been in my head, at least briefly. This freedom's a lie. That's all there is to it.
He waves out his hand one more time. Roll me. We'll save.
4.
Hey, sweet.
And then when I toss it out of the side, it's an at 20.
He,
Can I spin one of Wesley's luck?
nope, he's not here. Again, you feel the intrusion, and you do your best to fight it off. You know he's coming inside your mind, and he's got a hold of you. So he's going to ask you questions now, and you need to answer them the best of your ability. He asks you, who are your allies, and where are they located?
Luther Silverstein, Vespa Nordic, Orrid and Ivor, they were captured with me.
And all your allies. Anybody you count as an ally. that's not
Varus, Hosnag, Ost, Zephyros, Grizzly, Orvustie, Snut, Rupert. Trying to think of anyone else I want to mention. Leosin.
Do you?
I've never had a problem with Leosin. I know Vesper has their suspicions, but I don't share them.
All right. And he asked you where were they located.
Most of them was captured with me. Others are gone to separate ways.
Okay, you said Leosin. Where's Leosin at?
Baldur's Gate, I believe, but on the specific.
No, he's not. He's a water deep.
Waterdeep, okay. Also, Joffnor, and what was, I can't remember the other guy's name, the wagon right back in Waterdeep.
All right. So you count Joffnor as an ally. He's going to ask you, who is Joffnor?
Storm Giant seeking the Storm King
He said, where did you last see this storm giant?
near the High Forest.
All right.
On an airship grant given to us by Cloth.
Are you going to tell me you have a sending stone?
They have my belongings. No, they. How do would they be? They would have to know, cause he didn't ask me about a sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my bag of holding, which they have to know it's there to get it out.
Okay. Just going by some of the names, you said Zephyros. He's going to ask you who's Zephyros.
Nakana, Days, Crown, Cloud Giant.
Can you tell me where he's at?
No one can. That's his nature.
Inside your mind, you try to fight this off and you hate it, and your words just spill right
Yeah.
out. They flow freely as water. And all you can do is see Resimir with this smile on her face as she watches this.
Because I'm related to him or her, right?
Yes, you're talking to him.
I kind of got her. So you can't get me to speak.
Huh?
I told her that it's sad that she can't get me to
You
speak.
can't actually say that. You're
Oh.
under dominate person.
Oh.
So anytime he asks, what does he say? Just inside, you can feel that this is not what you want. Like you're
Yeah.
trying to fight it back and you can't.
The real me's locked away inside.
You said Harshnag. He asked you, who's Harshnag?
Frost Giant,
Says, where is he?
Maelstrom.
Even though you can look at him, you see him look towards Resimir. And she looks back at him, and you can just see out of the corner of your eye, and she shakes her head yes, almost in a knowing manner. He asks you, he asks you who's a grizzly.
Caravan, good friend. I know not where he's at now.
Who else did you name off?
Just about everybody.
No, that is about everybody. Everybody that's not captured. Okay. He asked you, what do your allies, what are their plans against the Cult of the Dragon?
To be honest, I'm not so. I only plan to destroy it.
How do you plan on doing that?
Any means necessary. Whatever lines does have to take.
He kind of he smirks at you when he says that, and he kind of looks at Matilda. And he looks back at you. Tells you, what did the Oracle of Anam tell you?
Time is rising. The ordeal is broken. The Storm King is missing.
He
The
smiles.
Gothgis is here.
And you see him really smile when you say this, and he looks at Resimir. Tells you, Do you know any plans of action the Giants plan against the cult?
None.
And that is not a lie. He asked, is there anything else Rezmir needs to know? They go over there, they start speaking in a language you don't know. You don't know Draconic, right?
I could know, I don't know.
But you don't.
I broke a giant dwarven orc. Gone.
Alright. Kind
I
of
could have
waves.
started talking in broken giant at first as a joke.
He waves his hands and he dismisses a spell. And you can just sit there and stare at him. And he kind of just has that calm look on his face. And you realize you have gave away everything you knew to the enemy.
Which really wasn't much.
Not that, well, that's why I'm doing this. Everybody's going to say different things. Is there anything you have left to say to these guys?
Hey, you could just put your name on a list, friend.
He said, unfortunately, you've made that list a long time ago for my associate, and now you do have my apologies. You could do wonderful things when we overthrow Thay.
Hey, you know, thinking cloth wasn't that bad of an idea after all.
And he smiles and he looks at Rezmir and she laughs. And they both leave. The ice doors part open and the ice doors close.